There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing, right? Actually, if you really think about it, think about this can as a type of poison. And what I'm doing is I'm slowly poisoning my body. I know it seems like it's a little bit of a stretch, but in fact, it's actually very, very close to the truth. Now, we may be so accustomed to having these canned drinks and these other types of foods and so on, that we don't think about the consequences and how little they add on and they bring an unhealthy effect on our bodies. Maybe a month goes by, you don't see nothing. Maybe a 6 months goes by, you start to gain weight. Eventually, these things have such an effect on your body that you will see massive sicknesses and illnesses later on in life. In fact, Public Health Agency of Canada has said that 64% of Canadians are overweight or obese. Now that's 2 out of every 3 people considered obese or overweight. That's a massive statistic. And children the ages of 5 to 17 are considered obese or overweight. So what's going on? What's going on where you have these statistics where 2 out of every 3 people are increasing their chances of getting sicknesses that we know, such as heart disease and such as stroke and high blood pressure and diabetes. Nobody wants to increase their chances to get these sicknesses, but yet we voluntarily eat and drink a specific way and don't think about the consequences. So why? Why is this? Why is this that in 1978, the percent of people who were considered obese and overweight was actually 14%. 14%. Now, it's not something that's gone drastically and changed from just a gradual measure. No. In 2014, only 4 years ago, the percent was at 28%. And to go from 28% to 64% in 4 years, something's terribly wrong. And something's wrong with our lifestyle and how we are going about our day-to-day lives. So what kind of effect does this have on us? Is it only us who is affected? I mean, yeah, I can go to the gym. Maybe I'm not too worried about it. Maybe next Monday I'm gonna start. Maybe New Year's resolution I'm gonna get a, a gym membership and start to go hang out at the gym. Sure, a lot of us tell us this. Let's start a diet. What's the new diet? We don't know. But either way, we have control over these things. Where I can go and I can go to the gym. You can get up and go to the gym. Anyone here could get up and go and do something about the issues in their lives. But what about children? What about children from the ages of 5 to 17? Basically, they're that entire range that they can't go to the grocery store and choose the food they want to eat. They don't go to the gym and just buy a membership because they don't have the money or the job to do it. So what's going on where we have to think about our lifestyle is being passed on from our generation to the next generation and to the next generation. So I know it's easy sometimes for us to say, well, it's a little bit of harm. I accept it, you know? You only live once, right? That's what they say. But nobody wants to accept any harm on their children. But actually, we are doing it far more than we'd like to think we are. And it's something we have to keep in mind because these issues with our children is going to make them grow up throughout school and to have self-esteem issues, to grow up and possibly develop depression, to have to put up and endure bullying that happens and takes place because we know that bullying takes place on those who stand out. And when you're an obese child, you're going to stand out. So is it because our lives are so fast? As we live in such a fast world nowadays that fast food just seems to be the easy way to eat. Is it because we don't have time to sit and everything's so quick paced? What are the root causes that lead people to live in this type of lifestyle? Could it possibly be that the cost of healthy food is more expensive in some cases than it is to buy the processed junk? And it's true. It's actually true that you can go and you can buy something that's quick, deep fried, extremely unhealthy. But yeah, you go to buy some fresh vegetables, or you go to buy some fresh meat, or something that's of a good quality and good for you, and you actually pay more. So is it an issue where it comes down to the price of things, to the cost of living? Is it an issue where we become lazy and we want to not be able to get out of our car and to eat in our car and drive home and boom, had dinner on the way home? What are the real issues that are the root cause of what's going on? You know, one of the things that's changed drastically is technology. And technology has changed so much so that maybe kids 30 years ago aren't going outside as much. Maybe they're inside playing video games. We don't understand completely. There's so many different factors. But it's something that you have to consider because there's a formula for this. And the formula is you're eating too much and moving too little. And if you're doing those two things, this is what's going to lead you to obesity. And when it comes to obesity, when you continue it for so long, eventually your sicknesses will become serious and it will lead to something where you will either pass away at an early age due to one of the heart disease or due to something else or diabetes or high blood pressure, stroke. And 29%, sorry, 51,000 people die from heart disease every year in Canada. Now 51,000 is a lot. People get very upset when they hear that 3,000 die from drunk drivers or from suicide or gun violence. People get very upset when they hear these things and they want to do something about it, but nobody wants to do anything about obesity. Nobody wants to change the way they eat because this is how they're comfortable. So think about it. You are a role model for your children. You are someone who you have people who look up for you. You're passing on knowledge and you're passing on a lifestyle and guidance to kids, to people underneath you, and they're going to pass on that same knowledge. Because even if you do live to be a later on in life and you do live to be 60, 70, 80, what quality of life are you actually living if you're obese? If you run out of breath when you're trying to climb the stairs, if you're doing anything along these things. So just remember that health is not valued until sickness comes. A lot of people, a lot of people realize that they don't understand how much they value their health until they are succumb to some kind of sickness. So don't become a statistic. Thank you so much.